Welcome back to Radio 1 International. Today we're talking about Britney Spears and the emotional truth she shared about her marriage to her ex, Sam Asghari. It's a story that shows us how sometimes things that look happy on the outside can be very painful on the inside, and why it's important to listen to people when they share their real feelings. She speaks with a rawness that's rare in the clutch of celebrity, offering a glimpse into what it truly means for a person to feel fractured on the inside, even when everything around them seems carefully staged. In her Instagram post, Britney confesses that her marriage to Sam Asghari, which began in June 2022 and ended in August 2023, offered no real solace. It felt, she admits, like a fake distraction, something thrown up to anchor her against a deeper heartbreak, losing connection with her two sons, Sean and Jaden, as they had moved to Hawaii with their father in August 2023. That distance inflicted a devastating wound. She says she was cut off from calling or texting them. To understand this is to witness the collision of personal anguish and public life, of maternal longing and emotional exile. The barrier that separated her from her children took on a form that's both physical and painfully symbolic, a gulf that left her in shock, living on denial and tears. "I remember in shock," she writes. "My secret to survival was denial and a lot of tears." That's the language of someone dislocated, not just geographically but from the emotional core of her being. She frames those years, 3 long, stretching years without her children, as the hardest of her life. What is a fake distraction but a bandage over a wound that won't stop bleeding? Her marriage, presumably meant to anchor her, offered instead a place to hide. It reminds us that sometimes, in the wake of loss, we chase illusions of stability, of love, of partnership, not because they're what's needed, but because they're there. They're distractions from the void. And when the makeup cracks and the front drops, what's left can be more painful than what you were trying to cover up. Britney is speaking not just to tabloids or fans, but to herself in that post. A reminder that amidst the performance, the persona, the enduring media glare, there exists someone fragile and human who simply wants her children. "We're just people so fragile and human," she says, reminding us that fame doesn't inoculate you from the darkest parts of a human experience. She layers her confession with another marker of healing: hunger. The act of saying, "I'm so hungry it hurts, and when I eat, it's like it's my first time ever eating in my life," feels almost hallucinatory. It's not glib or edgy. It's confessional, almost liturgical. It's as if each bite is a reclaiming of bodily agency, a reclamation of herself. She says, "I know I'm healing because I'm hungry again like a child or baby." That kind of sensation, that return of appetite, the rediscovery of hunger, becomes a metaphor for healing, for reconnection with oneself and the world of sensations beyond emotional numbness. And yet, she's most clear-eyed when she says she is still healing slowly. It's not triumphant, there's no "I've come all the way back." Instead, it's real grief, real grief's residues, and real slow steps forward. She says she's stronger now, reunited with her sons, a marker of hope in a long narrative of pain. That reunion, whatever shape it takes, is the light piercing through dark clouds of separation. Her fans, for their part, haven't seen this as spectacle. They've responded with empathy. The nude photo she shared alongside the post, which received over 150,000 likes, didn't become the focal point for voyeuristic commentary. Rather, it became part of the authenticity of her message. It became a vessel for vulnerability, for a raw connection that's beyond the performative surface. Thinking of Britney's journey now, so far from the girl who sang about "oops, I did it again," and so deeply into the wounded woman reclaiming her voice, makes me aware of the convoluted terrain of 1. Fame, motherhood, and healing. Her life's timeline: pop icon, conservatorship, liberation, marriage, heartbreak, motherhood, media frenzy, has been public all along. Part of that means every tear, every setback, and every simple domestic milestone becomes collective. Yet now she offers a rare gift: intimacy. When she says her marriage felt like a fake distraction, she is not seeking pity or producing drama. She is simply naming how she survived. She is holding up a mirror, to the ways we might distract ourselves when faced with unendurable emptiness. And in doing so, she is being brave, vulnerable but brave. It's easy to reduce Britney's words to headlines, the fake distraction line, the nude photo, but the truth they gesture toward is slippery and persistent. Grief, motherhood, identity agency. She admits that the marriage didn't fill the hole, it didn't soothe. It was a coping mechanism against disconnection from her children. That's an emotional realism many people know in another context. It's a truth, seldom expressed with such clarity from someone whose life is under constant public scrutiny. This statement marks a transition. She's no longer the persona of the pop star reduced to scandal or sensationalism. She's becoming, or perhaps reclaiming, a storyteller. She's naming her experience in full, not sanitized for tabloids, not packaged for media consumption, but raw. She allows us to see the actual fracture, not the repair, but the fracture. And the act of rebuilding becomes communal. Her fans, her followers, they don't just respond, they say, "We see you, we feel with you, we learn from you." The likes and comments become acknowledgement, reminders that her voice matters, that resonance beyond fame resides in authenticity. By reclaiming her hunger, literal and metaphorical, by laying bare her emotional wounds, and by naming the brokenness of those years, she brings forward a version of healing steeped in humility. Reuniting with her sons, step by step, moment by moment, she reminds us that recovery is not a polished arc, but a series of small acts. A call, a text, a meal, a hug. It's not in grand gestures, but in the everyday warmth of connection. There's also a broader cultural moment here. Her narrative invites us to rethink our expectations of public figures. We expect them to be entertainers, or icons, or scandal fodder, but what if we allowed them to just be human? To be mothers and wounded people, and someone regaining appetite and dignity. To learn and express that you can make a choice of transparency, of realness, and stop performing to the world. So maybe that's where the healing starts. Not in headlines, but in small admissions. The hunger, the tears, the denial, naming those without shame, and in the willingness to step toward reunion with her children, toward the world of sensation that she'd been separated from. Writing, like first time eating, she's crafting a new narrative, not one of triumphant comeback, but one of slow, gritty, human remembrance. Her words echo long after the likes fade. A marriage as distraction. These are the contours of a story not about celebrity comeback, but about reclaiming the simple truths of being a mother, a person, a survivor. Thank you so much for tuning in to Radio 1 International. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to follow us, share your thoughts with us, and stay connected for more stories from around the world of music and entertainment. Until next time, keep listening to Radio 1 International. 2.
One world, your station.